Hey guys!
Happy Thursday.
Welcome back to Devotions with Emma and Sammy. We're so excited that you're here today. Today, we are going to talk a little bit about sin, which may not be your favorite topic, but we're going to learn a little bit more about how it relates to us and what we can do to change it. So that's where we're going today. But first, we're going to go over to Emma for our main idea and verse.
Yes, so our main idea today is understanding sin, and our verse is from Romans chapter 14, verse 23. Everything that does not come from faith is sin. And that's it for our verse. It was a short one today. Over to you, Sammy.
Yes, thank you, Emma. So, sin. That's what we're going to talk about today. But first, I want you to think of when you've had rules in your life. So maybe it's rules that we have at the program. Maybe it's rules that you have at your house or where you're living. Or maybe you think all the way back to when you were in school and it's rules that you got on the first day of school. So that could be no chewing gum, raise your hand before you speak, don't talk when the teacher is speaking, all that good stuff. Those are rules that you have to follow. In our faith, sometimes it feels like there are rules that we have to follow. And we've talked about them, the 10 Commandments. A lot of people think that's a list of do's and don'ts. But what we've talked about before on here is it's actually a list on how to live well and what to do to live well. So it's not just don't do this and don't do this. It's how to live well because we know that we are broken people. Why, Emma? Because of sin. Sin. So sin is not just breaking the rules. The Bible describes sin as lawlessness. Specifically, John says sin is lawlessness. What's lawlessness? Lawlessness is not just breaking the law. It's all about your motivation when you're looking at the law. So lawlessness is basically saying, I don't have to follow the law. I don't have to do it. Your motivation is, I don't have to follow the law, so why should I follow the law? And the same thing can happen when we're looking at sin. Sin is saying that I am superior to God. What I want is superior to God. It's above what God wants for me. So when we're looking at sin in our own lives, it's kind of freeing. That's not just something, or the 10 Commandments are not just something we do or don't do, because we don't have to follow a list. That's really freeing. But what we do have to look at is our motivation for doing things. So if we're looking at sin in our lives, why did I do that? Or if we're looking at just everyday things that we do, what's your motivation? So why are you doing these things? Because we want to be following God and we want to be trusting Him, following Him as best we can, because that is what is good for us. And that's what God wants for us. So to get you kind of thinking a little bit more about motivation, what does this look like? Because it's hard to apply it to sin if it's just hard to grasp. So I want you to think of something you've done today. Could be eating breakfast, could be brushing your teeth, could be going to sit in the sun or walking your dog. I want you to think of your motivation for doing that thing. So why did you do that? Did you eat lunch because you were hungry? Or did you eat lunch because that's what you do at noon every day? Your motivation really determines why you did it. So I want you to ask yourself that question about maybe a few things that you did today. And then as you start to understand that better, you can look at what is my motivation for following the 10 Commandments? What is my motivation for trying not to sin? Is it just because I want to be a good person? Or is it because I want to be more like Jesus? So that is our lesson for today. To wrap it up nicely, we're going to go over to Emma for our invitation.
Yes, so today is National Go Fishing Day, but to celebrate, we're going to do a variation on fishing. We invite you guys to play the card game Go Fish. So all you'll need is a deck of cards and somebody to play with, or multiple people. I think the more the merrier. And if you do not know how to play, I will link a how-to video in the description box below. The video is really great because it's super clear and it takes less than 2 minutes to watch. So have fun playing, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Bye.